AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Coin Tip of the Day. I see full-page ads in the newspaper every day offering thousands of dollars for your air conditioner trade-in. They're ads about giant rebates and cashback deals, and I personally believe these companies think that the average consumer is too stupid to know the truth. I have more faith in you folks. There's no such thing as a trade-in or a real cashback in this business. The fake rebates and trade-ins are just overpriced air conditioning systems with a discount. They can't resell this equipment, and there's no such thing as an AC trade-in. It's as phony as the people trying to sell them. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. Bryant, whatever it takes, license CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949, and never offering fake and phony rebates and cashback.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
President Biden woke up overseas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, ready for a big week ahead.
I'm heading to the G7, then to the NATO ministerial, and then to meet with Mr. Putin to let him know what I want him to know.
Talking about his upcoming sit-down with Russia's leader. The president's first big meeting is today. Fox's Simon Owen is live in London.
Dave, the president is set to meet with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He arrived in the UK last night, telling American forces stationed here,
The United States is back, and democracies of the world are standing together to tackle the toughest challenges.
The president is also expected to detail a plan for the US to donate 500 million doses of coronavirus vaccines to some of the world's poorest countries. He said last night, we have to end COVID-19 everywhere. Dave?
Simon, migrants keep coming to America in a surge that got bigger last month.
Really big numbers out of Customs and Border Protection. They report in May alone, 180,000 migrants were encountered at the border. That's up from April. These are numbers not seen in decades. Here's a startling comparison. Look at this May compared to last May, a 675% increase. Even compared to 2019, up 25%.
Fox's Lauren Blanchard, a Texas man's pleaded guilty to plotting to blow up an Amazon data center in Virginia, though the FBI stopped him. His goal? To kill off much of the internet. Normally, the sun rising is not news. Well, it is today with a partial eclipse underway now.
The moon will appear to cross in front of the sun. If the vantage point were just right, you'd see a ring of fire with just an outer sun circle visible from behind the moon. Remember, don't look directly at it and use proper UV blocking sunglasses when outside.
Fox's Evan Brown. If you draw a line from the Carolinas to the Dakotas, areas north and east of that can see this annular eclipse. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash on 75 heading southbound right near Luckett Road. No roadblock, and we're unsure of injuries. Otherwise, Lee County commuters, no major incidents. Your morning commute should be up to speed. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Nicole Lauren, Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Warm and muggy once again this morning. Hot and humid this afternoon. High temperatures reach about 94 degrees with feels like temperatures approaching the triple digits once again. Now, we do see a few areas of showers and storms, especially inland and south of the Coxsahachie, but overall, few and far between from now all the way toward the weekend before we do flip the script on that rainy season-like pattern for early parts of next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Thrust all along.
At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, I strive to offer the highest level of care for those suffering with back and neck problems. With unparalleled service and our award-winning non-surgical spinal decompression approach, thousands of people have chosen us to treat their back or neck problems. If you are seeking lasting relief that is proven effective without needles or surgery, then call today to see if you may be a candidate. This completely safe treatment can be effective for many conditions, including sciatica, ruptured or herniated discs, facet syndrome, compressed nerves, arthritis, and spinal stenosis. Additionally, people who had failed back surgery in the past often find incredible relief from spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care, all our treatments are drug-free and non-surgical. We use new and comprehensive approaches that provide lasting relief. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling your home for a premium price, now is the time. You can sell over market value without doing repairs, letting strangers in your home, and you pick the closing date. Learn how for free. No pressure, no obligation. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. GomesMovesHomes.com.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
Flag Day is coming up on Monday, June 14th. So how about a new flag? Hi, I'm Rachel Hawk from Harvey Englehart. Monday, June 14th from 9 to 1, Harvey Englehart in Fort Myers and Fuller Metz in Cape Coral is trading a brand new flag for every old worn flag turned in. So drive through and get ready to show off your new red, white, and blue.
Bring your old flag to Harvey Englehart or Fuller Metz Funeral Home and get a new flag on Flag Day, June 14th, helping families connect, honor, and remember.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income in just 5 payments? You heard that right. In just 5 payments, you could set up a 6-figure retirement cash flow for as long as you live. I'm best-selling author Brett Kitchen with Wealth Beyond Wall Street. And right now, there's a retirement crisis in America because the pension system of old has been raided and destroyed, and Social Security is already running out of money. But most Americans are shocked to find out they would need to save over $2.5 million to have a $100,000 income in retirement. A new approach is required to solve this crisis. That's why this revolutionary new 5-payment retirement program was released, allowing everyday Americans to use bank money to create a retirement cash flow without relying on Social Security or pensions. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it accelerates the amount they will have at retirement or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 years old and want to build a bigger, better retirement in just 5 payments, call 800-346-9797 now to see if you qualify. Plus, as a free bonus, you'll get the 6-figure retirement acceleration guide and video. Call 800-346-9797. That's 1-800-346-9797. 1-800-346-9797.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skill sets to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you joining us today. If you want to watch, yes, go to DrewSteele.com. If you would like to watch on Facebook, if you want to do that, that's fine at Drew Steele Radio as well. All right, coming up this morning, in case you missed it, a lot of people asked me about my Gordon Chang interview from yesterday. We'll replay that at 6:35. And again, it's important because there is more and more news about who China is, the Communist Chinese Party, to be exact. I'm not talking about the people of China. We're talking about the Chinese Communist Party and how far they will go to destroy this country, our economy, our military, and what their plans are. And there are people have been calling and texting and don't understand why that's even part of the discussion. What's the threat? What's the problem here? Well, Gordon Chang, a national security expert, and has written a few books specifically on China, and we'll get into that discussion. So if you've wondered about that, even from the beginning, as we started the conversation, like, how did we get to this place? How did we get to a place, for example, where we come to find out that there's a possibility that China could hack our electric grid, and Joe Biden just made it easier? Is that hyperbolic or is that true? Is it true that there are backdoor transformers and generators imported from China and Russia that could enable those countries to shut down the entire national electric grid, throwing the entire country into chaos? Now, There are some that may hear me say this and say, well, that's an outrageous statement. It's incredibly hyperbolic. How could you even say this? Where is your proof? We've got proof. You got to have the receipts, as they say. And so that exists. And it does beg a larger question in a few cases that we'll talk about this morning, and it's this. Everything is political. You're going to meet people, talk to people. You're going to have elected officials that will tell you that politics doesn't mean anything. Their personal political beliefs mean absolutely nothing. That what they're elected to do or what they do in their lives at their workplace, in their environment, in their sphere, is based all on what is happening outside of politics. It's not like that anymore. It doesn't exist. That's a nice talking point, but it's just not true. Because everybody that has a political bend, which is you and me and everybody else, the left, Democrats, they all look at the things that they do in their lives through that lens and make decisions based on that. Decisions that could be life or death. It could be decisions of life or death. And I'm not, again, being hyperbolic. I am being honest. How many times did we have a former president of the United States who made claims about certain things only to be told by the left, by Democrats, by the media, whether local, state, or national, all the same thing, that you lie, it's not true, you're orange man bad, Trump derangement syndrome, you can go down the line. And you were told over and over again that it's not true, that fill in the blank with anything that you can say that would be a negative. Only to find out that that individual was right, that you were right, dare I say right all along. See what I did there? And what if some of those things that you were told, because orange man bad, Trump derangement syndrome, because that individual said it, that instead of taking what the individual said, examining what the person said, and then being able to say that is not true, how many people in this country said things like, because that person said it, immediately it's going to be dismissed no matter what the circumstances are? Oh, well, there's a couple of things that have popped up here. One of them that is a very important topic that popped up yesterday on my feed, and a couple of people reached out to me on this. And again, this has local implications, and I'll explain in a second. We come to find out that there's a story now. Both the Washington Examiner, Breitbart, others have picked up on this story. Many people have. About a new study. About something that you may or may not have heard about. I'll try to say it and see if you remember or have any clue as to what this is. Does the name or the word hydroxychloroquine mean anything to you? Does zinc mean anything to you? There were some during the pandemic. There were some back in 2020 who actually dared to suggest that there were some studies at that time that suggested that the use of hydroxychloroquine and zinc together could really help coronavirus patients. As a matter of fact, could help the survival of human beings. The survival of your friends, of your family, of your grandparents could help in the survival of people during a pandemic. And we're told that because one single individual said it, that it has to automatically be dismissed as something that's outrageous because of your hatred for that person. Well, now we come to find out that a new study shows that the controversial drug hydroxychloroquine, touted by the former president, increased the survival rate of severely ill coronavirus patients to the tune of 200%. We found that the cumulative doses of two drugs, hydroxychloroquine and zinc azithromycin, I hope I'm saying that right, Above a certain level, patients had a survival rate almost 3 times, 2.9, 3 times higher than other patients. So in other words, in combination with, in this study, which was talked about a year ago, more than that, but was dismissed because of politics, that we come to find out that now some lives could have been saved. Is it safe to say that maybe some lives were lost? I mean, am I being outrageous to say that some lives could have been lost if there's some people who would have suggested that politically, because of the hatred of one person, who would suggest that this was an opportunity to save lives, that because they hated that person so much that they dismissed that? Is it safe to say that some lives may have been lost because of that decision? I wonder how many other decisions people make in their lives that have to do with coronavirus, that have to do with what our kids are being taught, that have to do with anything that you can imagine politically or in their lives personally, that they have made strictly because they hate one individual so much that they would rather dismiss that person as an adult and that person be wrong than to actually study what the person is saying to the point where it could help someone as opposed to the detriment of that individual, and what responsibility they hold. And then they tell us that, no, the things that we do are not political. You should stop that. That the decisions we make will strictly be right in this lane. And you know it's not true. And so what other things have been going on even locally that might be a problem? Well, I've been privy to some information. I'm still gathering this information. It's kind of interesting, and hopefully if I can't present it today, I'll present it tomorrow. But it's safe to say, and Jake, let's go to break right now because there's a lot to dig into today. Man, there's a lot of news. That we're done. You're done. I'm done. We are done collectively. Can I use the word collectively? It depends. We're done with people telling us that politics do not get in the way of their decisions in their everyday life, when we come to find out that it actually does, and it could actually hurt people like you and me and others instead of helping, all because of the hatred of one person or an ideology, which is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. Why don't we look at it? No matter what side it is. Even if you disagree with somebody on the left, somebody who makes outrageous statements like was made on CBS News yesterday that we're going to get to, being told that kids, I guess, apparently have not been taught about slavery at all in schools. Boy, talk about a failure education in this country. Really? Is that true? Well, it's deeper than that. But again, to hear what they say on the left, to examine exactly what they're talking about, and then make the decision as opposed to dismissing that person because you know that they're a communist, a Democrat, and dismissing them out of hand. I don't, and I know you don't either, but we'll get to that coming up. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Is this Nicole Lauren? Is that who it is? Yep.
A crash on 75 heading southbound right near Luckett Road. No roadblock, and we're unsure of injuries. Otherwise, Lee County commuters, no major incidents. Your morning commute should be up to speed. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Nicole Lauren, News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Definitely another warm and muggy start to the day here in Southwest Florida, but it'll get downright toasty this afternoon. 94 the forecast high with a feels-like temperature near 100. Few showers and storms mainly inland and south of the Caloosahatchee before we're mostly dry heading into your Thursday evening. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
92.5 FoxNews.com.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Another U.S. company forks over a ransom. JBS confirms it paid $11 million to resolve a ransomware attack. The FBI says a suspected Russian-backed group of cybercriminals called R-Evil hacked into the company last week. A federal judge dismisses a lawsuit accusing McDonald's of racial discrimination for steering black franchise owners to underperforming stores. The IRS announced it's sending letters to 36 million families who may qualify for the expanded child tax credit that begins next month. The Wall Street Journal reports First Solar plans to build a factory near Toledo, Ohio that would employ 500 workers. And stocks closed lower yesterday. The Dow lost 152 points. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
Need the perfect Father's Day gift? Get him a shirt from Untuckit. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so they feel comfortable and look sharp all day. They also come in sizes and fits for every body, so you can easily find something in his size. This Father's Day, find the perfect present for Dad at untuckit.com or one of 80-plus Untuckit stores nationwide. Use code DAD20 for 20% off your first purchase. Untuckit, shirts designed to be worn untucked.
Every day in business is a big day. Whatever your day brings, Comcast Business can help you handle it with reliable gig speeds and advanced cybersecurity solutions. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Call for details.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Ellie Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples. You've worked hard in life and created substantial wealth, but isn't your legacy about more than money? At FindMark, we ask our clients, how will you prepare the next generation? Will they inherit your values along with your wealth? Having a plan is essential. FindMark can help. Visit us at our locations in Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, and Estero, or online at findmarkbank.com.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
If you feel America is facing more dangers than ever, you're right. Things are falling apart, it seems, every day. That's why you need to prepare for more of the unexpected, especially food shortages. When people panic, grocery stores run out of food fast. Would you survive without food for days, weeks, even months? The smart folks are buying emergency food now. Take a moment to shop mypatriotsupply.com. We're America's leader in preparedness. With over a dozen years' experience, My Patriot Supply has earned over 40,000 4-star and 5-star reviews. Our delicious, calorie-rich food averages 2,000 calories per day and lasts in storage up to 25 years, so it's there when you need it. Go to mypatriotsupply.com, order a kit or two, and we'll ship quickly and discreetly to your door. Don't wait for something bad to happen again. Rather, be more self-reliant and prepared. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. Thank you for visiting. Coming up at 6:35, if you missed our interview with Gordon Chang, it was a great interview yesterday. A lot of people asked if we could replay it, so we'll do that again coming up. And a little more on this story, the media doing what they do best. How many times, and again, it's not that you didn't already know this. It's just that every time you find out the opposite of what the local, state, national, the media, the Democrats tell you is going on, when you find out that what you know in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, with the facts and the evidence and the proof, that they're just lying to you and trying to do it because they hate someone so much that when you find out the opposite is true about the lie, that you can't help but just say, look, You're just reinforcing everything we already know. For example, how many times, as Tom Elliott from Grabien has pointed out, Nicole Wallace, MSNBC, just one of many. She probably mentioned the Trump photo op story, you know, the photo op where the president at the time, demanded that Bill Barr use tear gas to clear out a peaceful protest so that he could step up to the church there in Washington, D.C. that was burned, the historic St. John's Church, vandalized the day before, burned by, oh, no, not conservatives, not Republicans or anything. No, anarchists, right? That he only did that he cleared out the crowd so that he could do a photo op. Remember that? Holding up the Bible and a big photo op opportunity and how everybody, it was just an outrageous thing.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Yeah, come to find out that's not exactly what happened. She mentioned it probably 43 times over the last year. Devoted probably a quarter of her show each and every day on this photo op from the former president. Oh, but look at this. They did an internal government investigation, 37 pages. Boy, that's a lot of investigating. And what did they find out? No evidence that protesters were forced out of the park near the White House to clear the way for then President Trump to pose for a photo outside the graffitied church. So, in other words, it was a big fat lie that they ran with, knowing full well that if you lay the groundwork for the lie, if you continue to talk about it enough, if you gaslight it enough, that soon people start to believe that that's true and what an evil man and who would do something like this. No, he wouldn't do something like this. Maybe somebody would, but it wasn't that guy. But for some reason, they kept running with it. Violent clear out of Lafayette Park had nothing to do with Trump's photo op, concluding that a contractor installing, quote, anti-scale fencing in response to destruction of property and injury to officers, unquote, previous 2 days was instead to blame. Oh. Yeah, and you won't hear anything about that. No apology, nothing to say that the story's been false, nothing to say that we were wrong, nothing like that. You don't get that. It's almost as if, I mean, it would be crazy. It's almost as if, I got to think of the most outrageous thing that I can think of. It's almost as if Hunter Biden, I don't know, I'm just making stuff off the top of my head. It's almost as if Hunter Biden repeatedly called his lawyer, who just happened to be white, and just laid into the N-word and continuously used the N-word in text. I mean, I'm just trying to think of something that would be crazy and unusual that would never happen. It's
breaking news.
A bombshell.
Oh, this just in. Yeah, it did. Oh, you didn't hear about this? Oh, maybe that's because there are some who don't really think that it's that big a story when the president's son does something like this, and it's a Democrat, and it's somebody that they. The first son, Hunter Biden, repeatedly called his white attorney the N-word in a pair of bizarre and occasionally lewd text conversations late in 2018 and early in 2019, according to newly unearthed messages. There's nothing to see here because the media hasn't reported on it barely, or doesn't think it's a big deal at all. Anybody going to say anything about Hunter Biden and what he should say about this and whether or not that? Yeah, you know how this works. But nothing to see here. Everything is fine. Move along. All right, Gordon Chang, you missed the interview from yesterday about China digging in. You want to know more? You'll hear it coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Adam Botana again from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, the only family-owned and operated boat club in Southwest Florida. Right now, we're calling all Southwest Florida locals. If you're a local, we're offering 3 months free and $1,000 off, giving you over $2,000 in savings. And when it comes to member-to-boat ratio, we have the best fleet and the best availability out of any boat club in the area. Fishing, cruising, water sports, Baywater will get you set up. Want to let your kids use the membership? At Baywater, anything is possible. This weekend, we're having an open house. We'd love to have you come by, have some lunch, and check out our club. And if you're local and join this weekend, you get 3 months free and $1,000 off for over $2,000 in savings. Call me, Adam Botana, at 239-495-0455. That's 495-0455. Or find us at bwboatclub.com or just Google Baywater Boat Club, the exclusive club of Southwest Florida.
Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design is proud of their impeccable reputation for truly unique design and custom cabinetry. Whether you're looking for custom hand-built Amish cabinetry or modern high-gloss Italian cabinetry for your home, Encore is the place to start. Their expanded showroom is filled with ideas, styles, and samples to guide you to the perfect design for your kitchen, bath, media center, outdoor kitchen, or custom closet. Their design team will create a 3D drawing so you can visualize and refine your project before they get started, saving you time and money. No matter how large or small your project is, Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design appreciates the investment in your home. Whether it's a remodel or new home construction, Encore treats every job as a custom job and every client as a VIP. Call Encore at 239-331-5287 to schedule a design consultation at their Naples showroom, or visit EncoreCabinetDesign.com for ideas for your residential cabinetry, new home construction, or remodeling project.
All right, folks, step right up. Step right up. You're not going to believe your ears. Today only I'm offering you air conditioning service for only $29. That's right. I'll send this cute little chimp dressed in overalls to check out your AC for just $29. That's not all, folks. With all the rebates and discounts of up to $5 quadrillion, you can get a super-duper system for next to nothing. I'll even throw in the magic UV light for free.
Don't be fooled by AC companies offering deals too good to be true. Kobe Cooling urges you to shop around before buying into the hype about government rebates and discounts. Kobe Cooling is an honest, family-owned business with NATE-trained and certified technicians, not clean and tuned salesmen. Kobe gives you a great product, professional, honest service at a fair price without all the sales pitches. Kobe Cooling, the most trusted name in the business since 1949. Call 482-1542, 482-1542, or go online to KobeCooling.com. License number CAC 1813722.
Brian, whatever it takes.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Biden and the British Prime Minister a few hours from now are set to meet in Cornwall, England.
The southwestern tip of England, where 5,000 police are securing the area. Overhead radar systems are in place. But the real threats that President Biden and other leaders of the G7 will be discussing, cyber attacks originating in Russia, the aggression and oppression of China.
Fox's Benjamin Hall. The president, ahead of the G7 summit, will unveil plans for the U.S. to donate 500 million COVID vaccine doses around the world. And weekly jobless numbers are due out this morning. Some industries, meanwhile, have been reporting labor shortages.
TSA is projecting that 131 of the nation's airports will experience staffing shortages this month. To combat the problem, the agency has resorted to offering $1,000 recruitment incentives.
Fox's Kevin Cork. America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash on 75 heading southbound right near Luckett Road. No roadblock, and we're unsure of injuries. Otherwise, Lee County commuters, no major incidents. Your morning commute should be up to speed. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Nicole Lauren, Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Warm and muggy once again this morning. Hot and humid this afternoon. High temperatures reach about 94 degrees with feels-like temperatures approaching the triple digits once again. Now, we do see a few areas of showers and storms, especially inland and south of the Coxsahachie, but overall, few and far between from now all the way toward the weekend before we do flip the script on that rainy season-like pattern for early parts of next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed. Mornings with Drew Steele.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes! So if you're having AC problems, get our $49 tune-up, including no breakdown guarantee, and Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today. Click the banner to schedule an appointment.
Call today, cool today. FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg?
I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
If you live in Florida, have a car, and haven't gotten paid to trade, you're missing out big money. Just announced at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, Thursday through Sunday only. Get 130% book value for your car, or get $500 more than any other written offer. Why wait to get paid? With 130% value for your trade, you're getting tons of extra money. And while you're at Sutherland, shop our great selection of inventory. Both locations are full of the vehicles that other dealers ran out of. That's why Sutherland is Florida's #1 Nissan dealer. We give you more for your trade. We have the selection you want, and we save you big money. Rush to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral by Sunday. Your used car mega store online at flnissan.com. And remember, if you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
You've worked hard in life and created substantial wealth, but isn't your legacy about more than money? At FindMark, we ask our clients, how will you prepare the next generation? Will they inherit your values along with your wealth? Having a plan is essential. FindMark can help. Visit us at our locations in Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, and Estero, or online at findmarkbank.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? It's your friend Tyler McCluskey here, and I'm reminding you about our new show that airs every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. Every week, I give you all the information you need to know about your health insurance needs. We also promote local real estate, entertainment, and have a guest host each week. Be sure to tune in live every Saturday at 11 a.m. or download our show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. For more information or a health insurance quote, visit TylerMcCluskey.com.
Join us this Saturday at 11 a.m. for the Tyler McCluskey Show, right here on 92.5 Fox News.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, for those of you that have asked about it, yesterday I had Gordon Chang on and an important conversation about China because a lot of people were emailing and texting and saying things like, well, what's the big deal? Why do you keep talking about China being a world threat? You have to explain more. So that's why we had Gordon Chang on yesterday. At Gordon G. Chang is where you can find him on Twitter, author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War. And we started the conversation about China where I just wanted to get into the basics militarily, economically, when people are asking the questions that you have been asking. If Gordon Chang, if you would do us a favor and just give us a little overview of how we got to this place and the history and the problems with the Chinese Communist Party itself.
Well, Chinese leaders talk about not competing with the U.S. in the existing international order, but they talk about actually replacing that with worldwide Chinese rule. And so we've got to listen to what Chinese leaders say. We Americans are oblivious about that. We didn't listen to al-Qaeda at all. And, of course, we know what happened there. But China is so much more powerful than any terrorist group. China right now has its soldiers and its encroachments into India, into Nepal, Bhutan. It is trying to absorb Taiwan, of course. It regularly encroaches in Japanese territorial water in the East China Sea. They believe that the entire South China Sea is theirs. It is stealing perhaps as much as $500 to $600 billion worth of U.S. intellectual property every year. Last year, they were encouraging incitement to riot on American streets. That's an act of war. They are counterfeiting our currency. That's another act of war. China wants to overthrow the U.S. government. We Americans can be oblivious, but we've got to start paying attention or we're going to lose our country.
Right. You know, and I wonder if we look at our history, is it safe to say, and this almost can dovetail into the question about the lab leak and getting into that, and I'll explain that in just a second. If we go back in history and we look at moments in time like Richard Nixon and this kind of engagement of if they just see what it's like, freedom and liberty in the country, that maybe there'll be change, as opposed to China looking at us and saying, I can't believe they're going to make it this easy. Like, this is the start of what will be this ramp up to the things that we see today. Is there some truth to that?
Yes. Well, first of all, yes, China is changing because of engagement from the U.S., but it's the Chinese people who have changed. The Chinese communist regime has actually moved in the opposite direction. Excuse me. And what we're seeing is Xi Jinping, the Chinese ruler, move back to totalitarianism with their, for instance, their social credit system, with their surveillance system, the Great Firewall. They're making it much more difficult for foreigners in China. So they're moving back to something that Mao Zedong, the founder of the People's Republic, would be familiar with and which would approve. So we've got to understand that our policies have encouraged the Chinese Communist Party to engage in really dangerous, reckless behavior.
Right. And I guess that's where this dovetails into the lab leak issue, and maybe you can speak to this, because when I bring that up, I bring it up for this reason. Is it safe to say that, you know, the Chinese Communist Party, they have no moral compunction to do the right thing. They look out for the party. And so it might be easy for someone like Dr. Fauci to say, well, these are scientists. We work together. We're trying to save the world and help the world when it comes to viruses and what we're doing. But then you have to really step back and understand that the party doesn't, the scientists themselves, they don't have control of this. The party does. So they're not going to be doing necessarily the right thing. It's what the party demands that they do. So to have that view might be short-sighted.
Well, you're absolutely right about that. Scientists hold the unscientific view that scientists cannot engage in evil, that there is one great scientific community around the world and that they can all cooperate. Fauci is at best naive, and certainly he failed to do his job of warning the United States of an infectious disease. He is, after all, America's top infectious disease official. Drew, we know a couple things. One of them is, however this started, and it does appear to be an engineered pathogen that accidentally leaked out of the Wuhan Institute of Virology, but however it started, Chinese leaders turned this into a biological weapon. They did that with two things in December 2019, January 2020. They lied about contagiousness. They knew it was highly transmissible from one human to the next. They said that it wasn't. And then, while locking down their own country, they were pressuring countries to accept arrivals from China. That shows malicious spread of the disease beyond China's border. And whether this SARS-CoV-2, the pathogen, started as a biological weapon, they turned it into one, which means that they have, with deliberation and with maliciousness, killed now 3.7 million people, including 598,000 Americans. This is an instance of mass murder. We need to do something about it.
Right. Gordon Chang joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Please follow him on Twitter at Gordon G. Chang. He's a great follow. Of course, the author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War. What do we do? Even the interview with Secretary of State Blinken just the other day with Axios, when it was asked about the pressure to put on to China, what does that even look like? And he couldn't really answer the question. What is the pressure? What do we do? And when we have a former administration that maybe would show the way as far as what we should recognize, certainly the Trump administration recognized the threat, but we have an administration now that doesn't communicate clearly and succinctly that they're prepared to do something that would be pressure on China to see, have the world see more and investigate more what happened. What are we doing?
Well, we're not doing anything. And that was clear from Secretary Blinken's Axios interview, where he actually said that it was in the interest of the Chinese regime to be transparent, which was one of the most naive statements I've ever heard from a Secretary of State or any American official. We know that President Biden does not want to do anything. After all, he spent 2 hours on the phone with Xi Jinping, the Chinese ruler, in February, and by Biden's own admission, he did not raise the issue of COVID-19, which was a dereliction of duty. I can understand he doesn't want to do anything about China, but if that's the way he feels, he should not be president of the United States, because that's his most important responsibility. And we've got to do something, Drew, because we know that Chinese leaders are working on pathogens that will leave the Chinese immune and will sicken and kill everybody else, which means that the next disease from China could leave only China as a viable society, which means that this would be a civilization killer, which means we could lose our country. So we've got to deter Chinese leaders from thinking they can ever spread another disease, which means we have to impose the most severe costs on China. Biden is not prepared to do that, and therefore I think that clearly we are at risk.
Boy, but in so many ways, and maybe you can speak to this as well, the tentacles are so deep. When you talk about even big tech, corporations, Apple, the NBA, and the money that's involved in all of this, and how you pull away from it. Maybe even if you're talking about financial corporations, financial institutions who really see value in the markets and don't want to pull away from that. It's almost like we have to find a way to, and I don't know how you do this necessarily, but to incentivize them to stay away, to not be involved, to get out of there, whether you're someone like Apple and then relinquishing what always it seems to happen all the time, which is every single time a company does something, big tech or something that we do, a lab looking into a virus, and you naively go in and think that you're doing business with the Chinese Communist Party, all they're doing is weaponizing everything against us.
That's right. They are exploiting every point of contact with America, and they're overwhelming us. The FBI is overwhelmed. Local law enforcement is overwhelmed. Governments and businesses are overwhelmed. And the only way you do this, and this sounds drastic, but we're obviously at an existential crisis, we have to cut our links to China. And I think that we can do this. We're on the road to doing it, but obviously we've got a lot more to do. But the point is, if we don't do this, we're no longer going to be a free and sovereign people. And that's where we are right now. Americans have to understand, we Americans throughout our history have always ignored what our enemies and adversaries say about us. We now have a president who won't even call China an adversary. But remember, the Chinese in May of 2019, People's Daily, the most authoritative publication in China, declared a quote-unquote people's war on us. So they view us as an enemy, and I can go into a number of reasons why they do that, but there it is, and we have to understand that.
Well, feel free if you want to go into a number of reasons why they do this. I think it's important that people understand this. I don't know. I guess it's because we have a generation or a few different generations who maybe on the surface feel like, well, we have so many things manufactured in China, only to find out that when there's something like a pandemic that happens that comes from that very country, that we are denied the very things that we need, PPEs and masks and the like, and holding it against us, and how that should be right there, something that should shock you into saying we can't have this. But there have been many instances where we have seen this and people have looked the other way.
They certainly have, because they have a financial interest to do so.
Right.
And the elites in America are more closely aligned with Beijing than they are with Washington. They are supporting the Communist Party of China over America. And that we have got to understand. The reason why we can never have good relations with Communist China is because Communist China sees the United States as having inspirational impact on the Chinese people, because we stand for freedom and democracy. And those are anathema to the communist rulers who, although they are arrogant, who, although they think they're very powerful, they are extremely insecure, which means it is not possible to maintain good relations with them, which means that Anthony Blinken and Joseph Biden and all the rest of them are trying to do something which is impossible, which is to maintain correct relations with Beijing while it's ruled by communists.
Right. Before we go, I have to ask you this question, about Taiwan and what you see happening. Many people called it in the late 90s when the handover took place in Hong Kong and what they believed what was going to happen. And we see it happening right now. And it's just the mainland has come in and it is definitely changing. There's no doubt about it. And the language that's used when it comes to Taiwan, this idea of taking Taiwan back as if it was ever theirs to begin with, right? That's part of it as well, right? This understanding of where Taiwan is and where we are with the relationship and how far you're willing to go, because I think it's safe to say that China is willing to go as far as they feel, because it's almost as if every time they look at the United States, it's like, what are you going to do about it? That's their attitude, and the United States doesn't do anything about it. So how do you feel about where we are in the situation with Taiwan?
Well, we're moving in a better direction on Taiwan, largely because I think there's an appreciation of the extreme aggressiveness of Beijing. But you're right, we are not where we need to be on Taiwan. We need to say clearly in public that we will defend it. And the reason is, Drew, because defending Taiwan is defending America. Since the end of the 19th century, Americans have drawn our western defense perimeter off the coast of East Asia, and Taiwan sits in the middle of that line. It prevents the Chinese Navy and the Chinese Air Force from surging into the Pacific. We don't want them off the coast of Hawaii or California. And also because of democracy. China's attacking democracy, the whole notion of it, and we cannot allow China to absorb any democracy, especially one as important as Taiwan. So we have to defend it, because if we don't defend it, we're going to be defending Hawaii.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm so happy that we had a few minutes with you this morning. Gordon Chang joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Please go to @GordonG.Chang on Twitter. Follow him right now. And great information. Of course, the author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War. We do appreciate a few minutes with you, as always, and we'll speak soon. All the best. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Drew.
All right. We'll see you soon. 239-479-5592. I hope that explains a lot. It's a crazy dynamic when you think about that, and take a step back and look into this aspect of the coronavirus, the Wuhan lab, everything that we just talked about. And remember this. You have doctors, scientists, virologists who want to work with others in China to do the right thing, to say, look, we work together because there's going to be gain of function happening. But together we're going to find cures. We're going to find ways to stop this. It's going to be a positive. And the scientists or the virologists or the doctors in China will say, yes, we agree. The problem is that it's not their say. The Communist Chinese Party runs the show. You don't get to say that. They don't get to make that decision. The decision is already made for them. And if the party decides that they're going to use that and militarize it, that's what happens. So this idea, this naivete, as Gordon Chang pointed out, that Dr. Fauci has, that he continues to talk about. This is the kind of thing that has been happening for far too long. And then when you realize who they are and what they are trying to accomplish, you quickly realize that, unfortunately, the way things are now, the way that it has existed and leading to this point, that there has to be a decoupling. And it's not about the people. It's about the party. It's not about the people in China. None of this is about the people. Like he mentioned, it is something to be said about the people who want to have liberty and freedom. They would love to have a lot of what we have here in this country. They don't have the option. And a party that has no moral compunction whatsoever, that you don't want to be harsh, but it's the reality of it. Do you honestly think that that China would be willing to have people, their own citizens killed, would allow this thing to get out and their own people would die? And the problem is that more than a few people will tell you yes, that they look out for the party more than they care about their own people. The party has to survive, and if some people do not, but the party does, for them, that is acceptable. And it's hard for us to realize that and to even take that in and to think that that's a reality. But it is. And you can't keep stepping away from it. And you can't make believe like it doesn't exist. And again, it's not the people, it's the party. 239-479-5592. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News. Hope you're watching at drewsteele.com. That's the website. You can watch there on your smart device, smartphone. And, of course, certainly you can watch right now for the time being on Facebook at Drew Steele Radio for as long as, well, they have, you know. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News right all along.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. Silicon Valley startup could change the way your pizza is made and may change the food industry forever. Zoom Pizza, Z-U-M-E, has gotten rid of a key business component that all their competitors use, humans. When a pie is ordered, the pizza goes down a conveyor line and robots add the ingredients. And more innovations are coming. Soon the pizza will actually be made inside the delivery vans, on the way to the customer's address. Each van's equipped with robots, 56 remote-controlled ovens. They await approval from the Santa Clara County Department of Environmental Health. Alex Garden, a co-founder of the startup, comes from a background in video games, and he says that the company's goal is to become the Amazon of food. It could be extremely profitable, he says, if they can bring their innovations to others in the food service industry. Now, if this works out, he's right. One big reason, the robot workforce doesn't complain. You don't have to worry about them showing up late or needing family time off to take the dog to the vet. Robots don't take maternity leave because they don't get pregnant. They're not confused about their gender, nor do they demand special rights to express who they are that day. And they're not going to demand $15 an hour to make pizza or anything else. A whole lot of companies would want a slice of that business model.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You find yourself searching for a reputable air conditioning company?
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
I'm Crystal Casey with Brett Air Conditioning. For over 45 years, our motto has been, don't sweat, call Brett. We are a family-owned business with a great reputation. Whether your AC needs maintained, serviced, or replaced, we are here to serve you. So stop searching and join the Brett Air family today. You can find us online at brettairconditioning.com or call us at 239-566-3633. 239-566-3633. 3633.
If you don't love your AC company, call Brett Air right now. Find them online at brettairconditioning.com or like them on Facebook.
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
License number CAC 1819995.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's pest prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 3warehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friend.
This is 92.5. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
President Biden is in England. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The first full day of his first foreign trip, telling U.S. troops stationed there when he arrived last night, his message will be America's back.
That we're committed to leading with strength, defending our values.
President Biden is also going to announce that the U.S. will pay for 500 million doses of Pfizer vaccine for the rest of the world. It's part of his vaccine diplomacy and also a wider push to move away from America first.
Fox's Benjamin Hall in Cornwall, England.
In the next few hours, President Biden's going to meet his host, Boris Johnson. Then he goes to meet the Queen. Following that, the NATO summit in Brussels, and then that big summit with Vladimir Putin.
Now, the president may press Russia's leader on cyber attacks, from the SolarWinds hack that hit U.S. government agencies to the ransomware attacks on Colonial Pipeline and a big meat supplier, which, like Colonial, paid up.
The U.S. division of the multinational meat processor JBS confirmed the company shelled out about $11 million after being hit by a ransomware attack. The company, crippled by the hack, and said it was a difficult decision to make that payment, but they had to do it to prevent potential risk for customers.
Fox's Jill Nato. When the president has his NATO gathering next week, Afghanistan may be an issue as U.S. troops keep leaving the country. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has an update on that live.
Dave, the Pentagon is weighing the possibility of airstrikes in Afghanistan if the Taliban tries to take over cities like Kabul. The president's plan to withdraw troops from the country involved ending air support for Afghan security forces, except when the interests of the United States were threatened. The New York Times reports that the Defense Department has not made a decision on air power, but that officials are considering using drones if needed. President Biden has set a September deadline for all U.S. troops to be out of Afghanistan. Dave?
Rachel, the surge of migrants coming to the U.S. got bigger last month, 180,000. That's more than April. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash on 75 heading southbound right near Luckett Road. No roadblock, and we're unsure of injuries. Otherwise, Lee County commuters, no major incidents. Your morning commute should be up to speed. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Nicole Lauren, Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Warm and muggy once again this morning. Hot and humid this afternoon. High temperatures reach about 94 degrees with feels like temperatures approaching the triple digits once again. Now, we do see a few areas of showers and storms, especially inland and south of the Coxsahachie, but overall, few and far between from now all the way toward the weekend before we do flip the script on that rainy season-like pattern for early parts of next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling your home for a premium price, now is the time. You can sell over market value without doing repairs, letting strangers in your home, and you pick the closing date. Learn how for free. No pressure, no obligation. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. GomesMovesHomes.com.
Things seem to get more expensive as the years go by. Take groceries. Prices are up by 36%. And keeping up with your health, that's up too by 54%. But did you know at FPL what you pay for energy has gone down 10% over the last 15 years? And they're not cutting corners either. They're investing in energy that's not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. See how we're keeping your bill lower than most states at fpl.com/value.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell, and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our original gold-rimmed homemade vanilla. The country's gold standard of ice cream flavors since 1969. Its hand-cranked taste takes you back to simpler times. That's why we put the word home right on the carton.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Walmart supercenters and Walmart neighborhood markets.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Here's an understatement. The last 12 months have been a roller coaster, right? Because of the pandemic, most Americans have increased their focus on investment and retirement planning. But what if you haven't taken that all-important first step? Annex Wealth Management can help. We'll create a solid plan for you that includes investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. It's time to take us up on that free portfolio review. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Hey, good morning. All right, I'll get to it. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. Please subscribe to the, I guess if you want to subscribe, it's fine. You can do that. drewsteele.com, the website is mobile friendly. It's good for your smart device, your phone, and take us with you. We're still on YouTube if you want to go there at Drew Steele Radio. Yeah, we're still at Facebook at Drew Steele Radio. Just trying to get it out there into all different places where people consume. And listen, it's for the time being, that's where we are. And who knows when things will change. And we're working on all kinds of stuff. So don't you worry about that. All right. I'm kind of laughing because I'm listening to Nicole Wallace and MSNBC and talking about Joe Biden's remarks there in England yesterday, play a little portion of the speech and then what she said about it. And as you can imagine, it was incredible. It was remarkable. It was soaring, the speech. Soaring. What?
Not a joke.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's because it's Joe Biden and it's, the spin. All right. Anyway, so we're going to get to a little bit of that. Coming up, I was going to do it right now, but I'm going to wait. A little inside Drew Steele baseball, a little family thing that happened yesterday. Could have been one of the most remarkable, funny, embarrassing, odd things I've ever had happen in my home. And because we're family, I'm just going to let everybody know. I might tell Jake before to ask him if it's something I should keep to myself, but I'm pretty confident that he's going to want me to tell everybody what happened because it was, I'm such an open book. All right. That's okay. That's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with being an open book, right? So I'll tell you. I don't mind. Not right now, but we'll get to it because there's a lot of other things to get to. All right. So the left media is going to talk all kinds of big talk about Joe Biden and how awesome this speech was. I mean, it was beautiful. It was soaring. It was incredible.
President Biden there marking the start of his first foreign trip with a heartfelt and at times soaring speech to Air Force personnel stationed in the UK. It is the very first event in a week of meetings with Western leaders and NATO allies. All of that before a high-profile summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Yeah,
and by the way, he is prepared to, and he is talking about that he's going to tell Putin, quote, what I want him to know. That's kind of vague. I mean, what? Right, Jake is like, what does that mean? Do you have any idea what that means? If he says, "What I'm going to tell him what I want him to know," what does that mean? Does he want him to know maybe like, hey, don't hurt us? I mean, is that what could it be?
I don't think he knows.
He doesn't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he knows, but he doesn't want you to know because, you know, he's top secret Joe. Ding, 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 ding. You gotta have some kind of like 00 music because he's always got those cool shades. You know, he wears the aviator, the dark aviator glasses, right? Isn't that right? If you're somebody who's a sunglass aficionado, the coolest sunglasses are the aviators, right? Aren't they the ones that you wear if you want to be right?
Like Terminator?
I don't know. I think I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
Yeah, But the ones that look, Joe Biden wears them. Just look, just type into the famous Google machine Joe Biden sunglasses, and you'll see for yourself. Hey, by the way, speaking of the famous Google machine and where we consume our news, I'm going to get back to this story in just a second, but I have to put this out there because maybe a lot of you don't know. They did a study recently on where we consume news, where the globe gets their news from. Did you know that Google News? Didn't know there was I guess it's news.google.com. More people get their news from Google by far than anywhere else on the planet. Like 2 billion with a B, like clicks on Google News across the globe. And it's an aggregator. So think of Drudge except on steroids. Have you seen it before?
What do you mean?
Google News, where you like news.google.com.
I've never seen that.
I've never heard of it, but somebody mentioned it to me the other day that the biggest aggregator of news is Google. And what they do is they aggregate all your favorite lefty spots, you know, like the Washington Post, the New York Times, the New York Daily News, CNN, all of these different places. And by far, not even close how many people go to that globally. And you can only imagine how that shapes, you know, the skulls of human beings into... Well, I'm not saying it's like an indoctrination. Yes, I am. So it's a... Yeah. Anyway, so there's Nicole Wallace saying it was rhapsodic. It was soaring. It was just incredible. It was impossible to not watch and think, I am so happy that Joe Biden is the leader of the United States, the president of the United States. The things that he says...
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
We shouldn't use that one. Nope. We'll just leave that one alone. But anyway, no problem. So what is something that Joe Biden did say yesterday in this soaring, just incredible speech that he made in England in front of the troops? You know, it wasn't too long ago that Joe Biden at a speech in Tulsa said,
according to the intelligence community, terrorism from white supremacy is the most lethal threat to the homeland today. Not ISIS, not Al-Qaeda, white supremacists.
That's it. So in Tulsa, he was saying that white supremacy is it. I mean, when you're talking about the biggest threat, it's white supremacy in the country. So I guess there was a threat that he mentioned to the troops that's an even bigger threat or an equal threat. So here's what he said yesterday about a threat that I guess he was told back in the day when he was vice president was the biggest threat. And we're supposed to believe that...
You know, when I went over in the tank in the Pentagon, When I first was elected vice president with President Obama, the military sat us down to let us know what the greatest threats facing America were, the greatest physical threats.
Okay, the greatest physical threats. Jake, would you like to guess? Sat down with Obama and Biden. These are the military, the elite, right? Who was it?
The military sat us down.
The military sat them down, right?
When I first was elected vice president with President Obama.
Right, the military sits them down and says they're concerned.
To let us know what the greatest threats facing America were.
The greatest threats facing America. Would you like to guess? What are the greatest threats? Greatest threat threatening America? Want to take a guess? If you had to guess one thing.
I mean, I know a few, but
it could be China, it could be Russia, it could be
China's like
cyber attacks. I mean, I don't know what it is. Okay. Right?
This is not a joke.
This is not a joke. So if he prefaces what he's about to say by saying this is not a joke,
it must not be a joke, right?
Or it could be.
You know what the Joint Chiefs told us the greatest threat facing America was?
Well, what did the Joint Chiefs tell us the greatest threat?
Global warming.
Said this yesterday, that he was vice president, him and Obama sitting down with the Joint Chiefs, the biggest threat to the world, globally, United States, biggest threat, it's global warming. Joint Chiefs said this. So how are we doing now? Is it because it was just white supremacy before here in the United States, and now he says yesterday to the troops who are sitting there, are they nodding their heads? Do they agree with this? Is this something that they believe is the case? Is it global warming? Is that the thing that we should be worried? Should we be? There's a theme running here, right? Global warming in the past and white supremacy now. Anybody see any kind of thread, anything that's going on here? It sure sounds like it's political. Not really sure that I'm on board with what he's saying, but maybe you are. So there's the president waxing rhapsodic as some have said it, and this soaring speech, impossible to miss the sincerity and the connection between the president, first lady, and the troops. It was about as quiet as could be. People were looking like that he's commander-in-chief, that's that guy. I mean, or they may have just been like, they were speechless because they just, 874 million people vote for Joe Biden. It's okay. I worry when he says things like this, because if we have a Joint Chiefs that says to him that the biggest issue and the biggest threat.
You know what the Joint Chiefs told us the greatest threat facing America was?
Greatest threat facing America.
Global warming.
Global warming. And white supremacy. But global warming. I worry about what they're thinking and where they're getting their information from and how they're working this all out. And but you shouldn't worry about that because everything's fine. 239-479-5592. So there's a little bit of what Joe Biden said yesterday in England with the troops. A couple of other things that were said yesterday, including the confusion about whether or not we should worry that Kamala Harris's performance on the road in Guatemala and Mexico, and if it was spot on or if it was perplexing. Biden administration officials are quietly perplexed about the vice president fumbling multiple questions about the border and are concerned her unforced errors will overshadow her first international trip. Her unforced errors. That's, she should have known better. So they're worried about it. The idea that she has yet to go to the border, that's been a big problem. This simple question about not being at the border, right? And she says,
we've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
I haven't been to Europe. Haven't been to Spain. Wasn't there a song? Never been to Spain? Have you heard of that? I've never been to Spain. Wasn't there a song? I'm on an island. Jake's looking at me and he has no clue what I'm talking about. Somebody will text or email 239-479-5592. So the White House is not happy with the vice president and her trip and some of the things that she said, and they're perplexed. But the president's remarks certainly are soaring, and the things that he knows.
We choose truth over facts.
He's certainly soaring, individual soaring over something that's soaring. 239-479-5592. When we come back, we've got a bunch of other things that I want to get to. Critical race theory discussed on CBS News this morning. I'm going to make the suggestion this morning that maybe there are some people in the media, maybe even locally, that are worried. They're worried. You're winning. You're pushing back. People are worried about the fact that you're waking up. Maybe you've always been awake, but now you're ready to get off the sidelines and in the game when it comes to how your kids are being taught in critical race theory. And why would you bring somebody who has talked about being an anti-racist by being racist, bring them to the forefront like on CBS and try to protect critical race theory? What are they worried about if this isn't something to worry about and isn't a concern of many parents across the country? And it is. We'll get to that coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here is Nicole Lauren.
Major slowdowns on the Midpoint Bridge because of a disabled vehicle. All of this heading into Fort Myers. Speeds on the Cape Coral Bridge much faster, close to 70 miles per hour. Stick to that. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Nicole Lauren, McNews Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Definitely another warm and muggy start to the day here in Southwest Florida, but it'll get downright toasty this afternoon. 94 the forecast high with a feels-like temperature near 100. Few showers and storms mainly inland and south of the Caloosahatchee before we're mostly dry heading into your Thursday evening. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach, and today I want to share my thoughts on what it means to be a Republican. Republicans believe in limiting the power of government and expanding individual freedom. Democrats want to expand government because they believe that government bureaucrats know what's best for you and your family. The expansion of government into every sphere of our personal lives would disgust our founding fathers. From crushing taxes and gun control at the federal level to the tyranny of local governments with their mask mandates, revisionist history, and sexual indoctrination of our school children, government has truly gone wild. And I'm not going to sit back and take it. I'm going to fight back, and I hope you'll join me. This is Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be a Republican because I believe that faith and family are the center of American life, not government. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and never forget that this is your government, and we work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Coin Tip of the Day. I see full-page ads in the newspaper every day offering thousands of dollars for your air conditioner trade-in. They're ads about giant rebates and cashback deals, and I personally believe these companies think that the average consumer is too stupid to know the truth. I have more faith in you folks. There's no such thing as a trade-in or a real cashback in this business. The fake rebates and trade-ins are just overpriced air conditioning systems with a discount. They can't resell this equipment, and there's no such thing as an AC trade-in. It's as phony as the people trying to sell them. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. Bryant, whatever it takes, license CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949, and never offering fake and phony rebates and cashback.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Back or neck pain is not just unpleasant, it can be debilitating, preventing you from performing your daily routine and even confining you to bed. In decades past, patients suffering from spinal issues were often just given pain medication, spinal injections, and when they did not heal, often underwent spinal surgery. Luckily, there is now another option, non-surgical spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we use an advanced technology to apply a completely safe unloading force to relieve nerve compression associated with bulging herniated discs, sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, neuropathy. This award-winning approach, safe for any age, has gained international praise from physicians for its success. Complete pain relief is achievable. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
You've worked hard in life and created substantial wealth, but isn't your legacy about more than money? At FindMark, we ask our clients, how will you prepare the next generation? Will they inherit your values along with your wealth? Having a plan is essential. FindMark can help. Visit us at our locations in Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, and Estero, or online at findmarkbank.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you visiting the website. Well, this is interesting. On the heels of the governor of the state of Florida, who wanted everybody to know how he feels about the importance of right to life. Here's an interview that he did just the other day.
What advice would you give to American voters on how to tell the difference between a politician who's going to use their vote or who's actually going to fight the culture wars?
Well, here's the thing on right to life. When I became governor, I inherited the most liberal Supreme Court in the United States. It was a 4-3 split by the time I became governor. But I was able to replace 3 of the liberals to make it a 6-1 court. And that's important because Florida had the worst abortion jurisprudence in the country. Way worse than even things like Planned Parenthood versus Casey. You couldn't even do parental notice. They would strike down almost anything, even with minors. It was crazy. So we've changed that. Now we've been able to advance pro-life legislation. Now some of this stuff is going to be tested in our state courts, but I think those precedents are going to be reevaluated. And so we have an opportunity to do even more in the years ahead. And so, I think it's something that is a fundamental issue. And I think here's what I tell people in terms of right to life. It's important, obviously, on its own, but the people that aren't supportive of the life cause, they're not people you want to be in a foxhole with on any other political battle as well. They're the first ones that will sell out to the DC establishment when the going gets really, really tough.
What about that? They'll sell out when it gets tough. That's leadership right there. That is someone who has a foundation and a belief, and they are going to tell you exactly what they think, and you let the chips fall. With leadership, that's what you do, right? You let everybody know where you stand. You let people know what your values are, and then you'd be able to back it up in some ways. You might even be able to back it up in courts, like a federal court that dismissed a Planned Parenthood's challenge to the city of Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock, Texas passed an ordinance declaring that the city was a sanctuary for the unborn. Did you know that? It's something that's been discussed in Collier County as well, in the city of Naples. They've discussed this. Sanctuary for the unborn stated that abortion at all times and all stages of pregnancy is declared to be an act of murder, and the ordinance made it illegal to procure or perform an abortion or to aid or abet an abortion within the city limits. So what do you think happened when a federal court came along and had a case by Planned Parenthood challenging that? They dismissed it. They passed this ordinance on May 1st. The federal court dismissed the challenge. So what am I saying, and why is this important? It's important because where some will tell you to not challenge things, where some people will say, don't do that here because ultimately it's going to be overturned, so don't bother. Well, let's see. Let's see if you have a case. Let's see if you have, and your point of view has any merit based on other things than your emotions. Don't give us your emotions and tell us that you're not for it and give us all the reasons why emotionally you think it's bad. Give us the evidence, the science, the data, the legislation, whatever it is, the precedent in court cases. Give us all the examples of why it can't happen, and then let's put it forward and see if it doesn't happen, as opposed to cowering, which the governor doesn't often do. I don't know that he cowers, right?
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about Amco of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue, a lot of you know about. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission. That was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. Amco of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative Amco dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at Amco of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with Grace, a Tri-Found company, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Miami area attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Miami, Florida. Lisa Carges, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. Announcer is a paid presenter.
It may be the biggest cover-up ever. Was the coronavirus created in a Chinese lab? Watch Cortez and Pellegrino tonight on Newsmax as they tell the real story. More than 30 million Americans watch Newsmax on all major cable systems. Or download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone and start watching now. Millions of Americans are turning off the old cable news and going to Newsmax for real news they can trust. Check out Newsmax today.
Dr. Shane Walker here.
All right, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to say hi. I haven't said hi to the morning crew for a while. It's 7:30, and while we're getting into a commercial break, I thought I would see who's here, who's visiting, positively or negatively. I'm good. Let's see who's here as far as YouTube, as far as Facebook, drewsteele.com, the website. If you just want to do a roll call, we'll check out and see if you are here. All you have to do is say here so I can recognize that you all are watching. Just want to get an idea of who's watching right now. Maybe on their way out the door, maybe having breakfast, maybe you always watch. And so just trying to see who is here this morning. Florentina first up. Good morning, Florentina. Good to see you. Bob Langston is here. It's good to see you. Melissa, good to see you. Hello, hello. Ken is here. Hello, Ken. What is that? Oh, you're in a plane, right? You're in a I think that's a plane, right? Or it's a, yeah, I think that's what that is. Johnny B. Good is here. Good morning, good morning. Michael Shaw, good morning. Good to see you. Great picture there. Jane is here. Thumb in a, gotcha. All right. Let's see. Marsha is here with the cat with the mustache. Good to see you, Gary. Oh, wait. It's going too fast now. I've never been to Spain, but I kind of like the music. Right. That's Three Dog Night. Okay. Somebody just told me that. I didn't. I forgot. Well, okay. Or I didn't know. Carol from the Palm Coast. All right. Palm Coast. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it, Carol. Thank you so much. Hola. Native American. Hola. Donna Cortez is here. Donna, good morning. Good to see you. Rob Watkins, DC. Good morning, Rob. Good to see you. Appreciate you watching. All right. Saguaro Productions. I hope I said that right. Teresa, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Jeff W. is here and has been here all morning. We appreciate that. Oh, it's a Ford Tri-Motor. Is that a plane? Bob is here. Good morning, Bob. Good to see you. We appreciate you being here. Sandy's here. And hi to Jake. He can't hear you and he can't see you. But and good morning. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Roll call with Laura. Laura, hello. Good to see you here. Janice, I appreciate that you appreciate us, and we appreciate you as well. All right. Yes. So it is. It's a plane. It's a cool looking plane. Frank, good to see you. Good morning. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Anna from the bakery. Oh, wait, that's not Anna from the bakery. There she is. From Aroma's Bakery. All right. By the way, you want to do a quick plug, Anna? Where's the bakery at again? Like the actual address, if people want to visit. It's like a plug here on the video. All right, Oscar, good morning. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Good morning, 3E's, Jim. I appreciate that. And it's a cool view of an empty lot. Is that what that is? It's just an empty, it's a beautiful sunset or rise. Is that a rising sun or a setting sun? That was once asked of our founders, right? Janet, is it Weber or Weber? I don't know, but I'm sure I'll find out shortly. Thank you, all of you, for being here. I appreciate it. Whether you're watching at drewsteele.com or Facebook or YouTube. All right, let's see. Oh, we only have a minute. All right, gotta run. We'll see you in just a minute.
Homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
Tee up and swing into summer at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Experience excellent playing conditions, GPS golf carts, and low summer rates. Play 18 holes with cart for just $35 before noon, $30 after noon, or play any day after 2 p.m. for only $25 all summer long. Book tee times up to 7 days in advance at coraloaksgolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. Thank you so much for watching. Coming up, we'll talk more about some things that are happening with regard to critical race theory and some of the discussion that has been happening with major news organizations. CBS News yesterday picking up on this, where they did have, who was it? It was Ibram X. Kendi. He's doing this weekly series talking about racial justice and equality. This is somebody that CBS News decided to bring onto the program to talk about critical race theory, to talk about how history is being taught. And he made the suggestion that slavery wasn't taught through K through 12, that he has college students saying they never learned about slavery during their K through 12. Is that possible? There's more to this. But the reason why I want to bring this up and talk about it more is because there's some things that are brewing here locally, and I'm trying to get to the stories and dig in a little further. And tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day. I want you to tune in because, boy, if what I'm finding out is true and what I'm hearing about is true here locally, this could be some breaking news. Yeah, real breaking news.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
It might be. And how you're winning. You do realize that if you have major media outlets who are bringing people on to talk about how critical race theory is important that we teach this, and those that are against it, there's something wrong with them because they don't want you to know about our history, and that's not true. But if they're bringing people on to talk about it in the best of light and bringing you into the negative, then you're winning. You see that, right? So we'll get to that in just a second. All right, are you ready for this? Should I bring this up? I mentioned earlier in the hour that something happened yesterday in my home, and I'm like an open book. And I told my wife, I kind of have to talk about this on the air because nobody would believe it. It was the oddest, strangest thing. And, gosh, she's going to feel really bad that I said this, but I have to tell you because it was hysterical and true. All right, you ready? I didn't tell Jake. Okay. So my parents come over yesterday. It has been the most amazing week and a half because I haven't seen my parents in a year and a half. They haven't been able to obviously make the trip. My mom has not been in the best of health lately. I think I've talked to you about that. And she's much better now and able to travel, and it's great. And so seeing them has been, with my son, my 12-year, it's just been incredible, right? But then you forget about some of the quirks in life that happens when you have parents and some of the things that they do. So yesterday we had dinner at the house. We made something in the house. They brought some stuff over from the house, right? And they come over and we're just having a conversation, and it doesn't have anything to do with food or anything else. And we're just talking. My mom looks up at the kitchen table and she says, "Oh, I think I left some chicken cutlets in my purse." Excuse me? "I think I left some chicken cutlets in my purse. Hold on a second." She gets up and walks over to her purse and pulls out a bag of chicken cutlets and green beans that she left in the purse. I think I left chicken cutlets in my... What did you put chicken cutlets in your purse for? What are they doing there? What? It was the weirdest, oddest, strangest. And then she pulls out a bag of chicken cutlets and green beans out of a bag, like in a Ziploc. It's in her purse. Now, okay, in her defense, mind you, she brought them over to have for dinner because she had them yesterday, and she wanted to have them last night. So it wasn't like she had left them in the purse for a long period of time and they were sitting there, and then she ate them last night. She had the plan on bringing them, but she put them in her purse, and just before we were ready to have dinner, okay, that's all. I thought it was hysterical because my wife looked at me and said, she said, "Things you hear in an Italian household." She said, she looked and said, "Things you hear in an Italian house." I think I left chicken cutlets in my purse. And there they were. It was spectacularly hilarious. Anyway, I had to share it with you. I just had to because it was awesome. It was funny. All right, let's get on to things that are not funny, not humorous, very serious, and quite disturbing. Did you get... Well, maybe I should ask Jake the millennial. You went to school, right?
Sometimes.
Did you ever learn about slavery at all?
Most definitely, yeah.
Okay. Apparently, I'm being told that college students are telling Ibram X. Kendi that they don't know anything about it. They've never been taught. He directs the Center of Anti-Racist Research at Boston University, just so you know. And by the way, if somebody is teaching anti-racism, chances are there's probably some racism in there. I'll explain. So he's on CBS News yesterday. He's got this anti-racist podcast. Now, you're winning. You're winning because those that are looking at and seeing and understanding that critical race theory is being taught to our kids. This notion that we're supposed to look at everything through the lens of race. And I'll explain more about it. And maybe even tomorrow we'll dedicate a whole chunk of time to explaining what critical race theory is in detail so that you see that it is being taught in our schools. There may not be a critical race theory curriculum, but there are teachers who believe that it's true that you have to look at everything through the lens of racism, and that there are some that are individuals there are based on their skin color that are racist and some that apparently are not, and that you can do this. And I don't know who in the world believes that. Well, there are some. But they're bringing people on like Ibram Kendi because they're trying to protect the position, that they want this to happen, that they want you to believe in order to be an anti-racist, you need to be racist. Now listen to the conversation. So here it is talking about, and it's critical that you hear this, because there are people in town right here in Southwest Florida that will have you believe that the only way that your child can get an education properly, world class, would be as if they are taught critical race theory. Taught critical race theory as a theory, like the theory of, I don't know, evolution, things like that, or as fact, as truth. And if you don't believe it, well, then you're a racist. Big difference. Here's the conversation.
There's a push in schools across the country from Republicans in particular.
So you see where we're going here. Already, it's Republicans. It's you. You're the troublemakers. It's just in Republican places. So here's the setup.
To emphasize the more patriotic, in their view, elements of our history, as opposed to some of the darker chapters, and in particular, not teaching the idea of systemic racism. As a college professor yourself, as someone in the education business, what's your response to that?
Okay. So there are places like in Florida where we are concerned about civics and how it is being taught. And we want to teach our history, and we care about the history of the United States. We are the greatest country in the history of mankind, period, full stop. Sorry if you don't like that, but it's true. Do we have faults and flaws in our past? We certainly do. Should we talk about them? Absolutely. They're there. As a matter of fact, they're perfect examples of what we shouldn't be doing in the future. But we can talk about it. I don't know of anybody who's not afraid to talk about it, only if you're convinced that it's still happening or that things have to be denied or changed fundamentally because you believe that the person at the time who created, the Constitution, rule of law, and the foundation of the nation, that these were racist individuals, but because of that, that we have to start from scratch, that clearly everything about do you see where we're going here? That's the point that they're trying to make. I don't mind learning about slavery. I don't mind learning about some of the bad things that have happened in the past in this country. And so you don't repeat them, right?
I think I am sympathetic to teachers and educators everywhere who are committed to doing our jobs. And our job is to tell the truth. Okay, the job is to tell the truth. Is it the truth or your truth? Is it the truth or your truth? It's a big difference. There are many teachers like Ibram X. Kendi who have their truth that they want to teach to your kids. Our job is to tell the good and the bad. Our job is to tell the light and the darkness. And I think that's what students want. And I know I've had so many students who've come to my classrooms in colleges angry that they did not learn about systemic racism and even about slavery. Do you honestly believe that there are people that have been taught in schools, in public school systems in the United States, that have not learned about slavery? If you've learned about the Civil War, you've learned about slavery right there in and of itself, I would imagine. Is that what you're telling us? Because maybe that's an issue with those institutions and those teachers. If your suggestion is, and what he's doing right there, without any pushback, without any proof, without any evidence, here it is, here are the numbers, here are the people. Because I love to see the names. Because I see the names of the people that haven't been taught about slavery at all. Because if your suggestion is they haven't been taught about slavery at all because somehow we're trying to hide it, yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. during their K through 12 years.
You know, you say at your podcast at one point, racism is harmful to white people. I think white people and some blacks are going, huh? What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
So I wonder if you could just briefly explain what you mean by that, because you said when racism wins, we all lose.
Well, let's just take a current example. We of course, have talked about the way in which voter suppression policies are disproportionately disenfranchising, black, brown, and indigenous people. Mm-hmm. But it's also disenfranchising and making it harder for white people to vote.
All right, let me just stop. And then the switch goes right to these voter laws, these changes in voter laws in state, right here in the state of Florida, in Georgia, and other places where we're told it's voter suppression. Could you give us the evidence as to what is voter suppression in the state of Florida, for example? We're told that we're having it right here. It's going on right now in our state. Really? How? What are the things in the law and the changes that have made it harder for people to vote? What would that be? That instead of every 4 years, you have to, if you want to mail in, you have to make a request. Instead of every 4, you make it every 2. How is that inconveniencing, or how does that make it harder for people to vote? I mean, if you feel it's an inconvenience, that's one thing. But if you're telling me that's making it harder, how is that possible? ID. We want identification. Something that would identify who you are if you're saying that you're going to vote. Adding voter ID and voter attestation requirements when turning in a vote-by-mail ballot. I'm turning in a vote-by-mail ballot. Is this you? Yeah. Can I see the identification? What? I don't understand. How is that a bad thing? Like, if you actually learn about what the law is saying it's going to do in places like Georgia and Florida, and obviously this has been exhaustive and we've done this already, you come to find out that there isn't any suppression. It's not happening, but they continue to say it. It's gaslighting. It's pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, even though the evidence is there to the contrary. And he continues to do this because there are people that will continue to believe it. They won't try to do any homework on their own. They won't try to figure out why anybody would say something like this. Because there's a remedy for every single situation that you can possibly give. If you're telling me that there is one single person somewhere in the state of Florida that has been denied the right to vote, please show us who that person is and the example to which that person had that happen to them. And let's see why. And it wasn't because of the color of their skin. And if it was, then we do absolutely have a problem. But show us how that is the reason. No, you don't understand. It's something else. Well, what is that something else? Give me the evidence. Give me the proof. Show us how that is. But again, we're talking about an individual that is getting airtime as somebody who is with the Center of Anti-Racist Research at Boston University, who has proposed that we in this country have a federal department of anti-racism. Well, what does that look like? It would be independent, so the government wouldn't have any part of this, unaccountable, in other words, right? To the elected branches of government, you keep it on the outside, and would have the power to veto, to nullify, to abolish any law at any level of government, and stop the speech of political leaders who are deemed insufficiently, quote unquote, anti-racist. And who gets to decide what that is? Good question. What does that look like? Good question. If you're a supporter of the former president of the United States, does that mean it's you? Just by default? Again, you're winning. You who are fighting back against people who want to indoctrinate your kids into believing it is not the content of character of an individual, but it's the color of their skin that will decide how we will treat them, what they will be able to do into the future, and that is it, full stop. And we're going to teach that in every aspect of your life and their lives. When they're looking at you like, I don't look at anybody. No, you have to, and here's why. Those that are fighting back against the indoctrination of our kids and people that are doing this, you're winning. Because if you were not, then they wouldn't be having people on like this, on CBS and other places, to call you out. Because your voices are being heard, and especially here in Southwest Florida. Believe me, they are. And I'm talking about some information that I've received and things that I've been hearing about that I'm going to explore some more. And tomorrow may be a pretty explosive show. We'll see. All right, 239-479-5592. I know there's more on this, too, we have to get to. All right, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. You can give us a call right now, 239-479-5592. Caller number 5. Want to do 5 or 9 today, Jake? I'm going to leave that up to you. It's a big decision day for you. 5 or 9. Just pick a number.
5.
5. Okay. I know, it's so tough. Caller number 5. You'll play Drew's College up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Nicole Lauren.
Major slowdowns on the Midpoint Bridge because of a disabled vehicle. All of this heading into Fort Myers. Speeds on the Cape Coral Bridge much faster, close to 70 miles per hour. Stick to that. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Nicole Lauren, McNews Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Definitely another warm and muggy start to the day here in Southwest Florida, but it'll get downright toasty this afternoon. 94 the forecast high with a feels-like temperature near 100. Few showers and storms mainly inland and south of the Caloosahatchee before we're mostly dry heading into your Thursday evening. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Kennedy at 3 and drive home with Trey Radel at 5. Now back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
Hey, it's Adam Botana again from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, the only family-owned and operated boat club in Southwest Florida. Right now, we're calling all Southwest Florida locals. If you're a local, we're offering 3 months free and $1,000 off, giving you over $2,000 in savings. And when it comes to member-to-boat ratio, we have the best fleet and the best availability out of any boat club in the area. Fishing, cruising, water sports, Baywater will get you set up. Want to let your kids use the membership? At Baywater, anything is possible. This weekend, we're having an open house. We'd love to have you come by, have some lunch, and check out our club. And if you're local and join this weekend, you get 3 months free and $1,000 off for over $2,000 in savings. Call me, Adam Botana, at 239-495-0455. That's 495-0455. Or find us at bwboatclub.com. Or just Google Baywater Boat Club, the exclusive club of Southwest Florida.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Miami area attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Miami, Florida. Lisa Carges, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. Announcer is a paid presenter.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right. Oh, boy. All right, let's go to Jess. Jess is in Fort Myers. Hey, Jess.
Hey, how's it going?
It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question starts right now. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Hey, how old do citizens have to be to vote?
18.
That is correct. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. How many Supreme Court justices in total are there?
9.
That is correct. You got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. George Washington, president number 1. John Adams, president number 2. Who's number 3?
Ben Franklin.
No, it's Thomas Jefferson.
Oh.
Did you step on something? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm all right.
Yeah, it's just a fun. All right, so let's see. Let's see if you get a master's degree on this very question. Let's see. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? On what date was the Declaration of Independence adopted?
I wouldn't think it would be July 4th, 1776.
That is correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you
a master's degree.
Yeah, you did. You got it. Congratulations. You got a master's degree on Drew's College. Very, very good work. How do you feel now? You feel a little better than you did just a second ago, and it sounded like you were in agony.
I was, because I kind of knew the answer, but why Ben Franklin? I don't know.
Why not? It's the glasses, maybe. It's a lot of different things. It's electricity.
I always think of a kite with a key with Ben Franklin. A kite and a key.
That's all right. I always think. Jake always thinks of $100 bill.
Oh, well, he's about money,
Oh boy, is he, or the lack thereof. All right, we got to go. All right, listen. Thanks for playing, Jess. We appreciate it.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. My family and I are putting down roots right here in Southwest Florida and are so happy to be a part of this community. We hope to meet you out at one of the country clubs or walking the town center or out on one of the beautiful beaches or parks. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpets.
Well, we have the Dreamweaver Select, which is this is $3.99 carpet, pad, and labor. But this has a lifetime warranty for pet stains, abrasive wear, and even for steps, a stair warranty. Nobody's ever had that before.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
Major slowdowns on the Midpoint Bridge because of a disabled vehicle. All of this heading into Fort Myers. Speeds on the Cape Coral Bridge much faster, close to 70 miles per hour. Stick to that. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Nicole Lauren. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Warm and muggy once again this morning. Hot and humid this afternoon. High temperatures reach about 94 degrees with feels like temperatures approaching the triple digits once again. Now, we do see a few areas of showers and storms, especially inland and south of the Coxsahachie, but overall, few and far between from now all the way toward the weekend before we do flip the script on that rainy season-like pattern for early parts of next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Southwest Florida's place to talk about
coronavirus.
It's on the police.
Everything.
Give me liberty or give me COVID-19.
92.5 Fox News.
Everyone understands that when you buy more, you should pay less. It's called a volume discount. Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to make and install your windows. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the fourth window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows that will save you money and protect your home. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com. CRT.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income in just 5 payments? You heard that right. In just 5 payments, you could set up a six-figure retirement cash flow for as long as you live. I'm best-selling author Brett Kitchen with Wealth Beyond Wall Street. And right now, there's a retirement crisis in America because the pension system of old has been raided and destroyed, and Social Security is already running out of money. But most Americans are shocked to find out they would need to save over $2.5 million to have a $100,000 income in retirement. A new approach is required to solve this crisis. That's why this revolutionary new 5-payment retirement program was released, allowing everyday Americans to use bank money to create a retirement cash flow without relying on Social Security or pensions. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it accelerates the amount they will have at retirement or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 years old and want to build a bigger, better retirement in just 5 payments, call 800-346-9797 now to see if you qualify. Plus, as a free bonus, you'll get the 6-figure retirement acceleration guide and video. Call 800-346-9797. That's 1-800-346-9797, 1-800-346-9797.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes! So if you're having AC problems, get our $49 tune-up, including no breakdown guarantee, and Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today. Click the banner to schedule an appointment.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Drew Steve.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Appreciate you joining us. Jake is funny today. I wish you all could hear some of the things that he's been saying off the air, because it's I saw this report, story out of Breitbart that says that Instagram is fact-checking jokes about Anthony Fauci now. Facebook owns Instagram. So now, if you're doing a satirical post, just a joke, a fun Fauci, they're forcing users to delete them. You've got to take it down. Somebody was censored on Instagram after sharing a satirical headline. Okay. Face masks over your eyes so you can't read his leaked emails. That was the Instagram post and the joke. And apparently they forced him to take it down. And you made the comment about what? Instagram is what? You can't say it? Well, just clean it up, what you said.
I don't know how.
Well, a lot of people use Instagram for business and the like, but I thought Because I thought that Instagram at the beginning was what you were saying it is now, but then people started to pick it up and starting to use it for their businesses. But you still feel like it's a... was cesspool the word that you used? You did? Okay.
Cesspool, yeah.
Oh. I thought TikTok was the cesspool.
I mean, honestly, what isn't at this point?
If you're talking about social media, yeah, it's hard to find something that's not. He's not wrong. It's hard to...
It's just copy and pasted content from any other platform. Somebody will go on TikTok, recreate it, put it on Twitter, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Nothing's original.
On the heels of a story, even Town Hall had this story about how Mark Zuckerberg was constantly emailing Fauci saying, hey, any way I can help you out or we can help you out, to message the whole idea that that there was no lab leak at Wuhan. Want to help you to message the fact that that's not the case and, hey, what can we do? No apology or anything after the fact, but it is worth examination, right? If anything, don't you want to know, or we want to really? Okay, that's so last hour's news. We got to move on. I mean, you know what I mean? That whole story is the Fauci and the Wuhan lab. We don't have to talk about that anymore. We got so many other things we got to get to that are much more important. But it's amazing that as a society we survived before social media. Isn't it incredible to think that? Don't know how that happened. How are we able to do it? Yeah, all the things that have happened globally and even in this country. I don't know how we were able to survive without social media. It begs the question. Sorry, and that goes back to my whole philosophy of how arrogant we are to think that the building of the pyramids could not have happened with the ingenuity of the day. It had to be aliens that built the pyramids. This idea, the arrogance to say that there weren't people at the time that were intelligent enough to take what was available at the time and be able to create and craft something that would allow the people of the time to build a pyramid. It's kind of an arrogant way to think of things, right? You work with what you've got. You don't have a backhoe or what do you call those? I don't know. My son's big on tractors. A skid steer. You don't have a skid steer loader. I don't even know what a skid steer. I don't know the difference between a backhoe and a skid steer loader, but I hear about all these things all the time. But you didn't have one back in the day, so anyway. All right. Congressman Byron Donalds is joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. This is our Thursday, our get-together, and we so appreciate him taking and carving out time out of his day to join us. Sorry we had to start with tractors and 12-year-olds and pyramids. It's a weird way to start a conversation. How are you?
It's an interesting day this morning. Sorry I'm late. I'm dealing with CNN studios. I got to do a thing with CNN this morning. Interesting. It's a crazy business.
What do they want to talk to you about today, I wonder? What's their angle? Have they said?
Oh, the Black Caucus apparently is not letting me in.
Yeah, that has been, if you will, the buzz. Yeah. It's been in BuzzFeed. I'm looking at Daily Caller. All you have gotten is the cold shoulder. You have reportedly being blocked from joining the Congressional Black Caucus. Well, what about that? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Not really. I mean, it's just kind of crazy.
Okay, that's
literally the article dropped yesterday, and I was like, huh? Because my staff calls me. They're like, hey, this article's dropping. I was like, what article? And they show me the article.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And so then from there, I'm just like, well, it is what it is, And so then, of course, they want to do media hits and all that stuff. I mean, it's important, but it's not really important. The more important thing is, what's going on Capitol Hill. The president's budget's a mess. Kamala Harris doesn't know what she's doing south of the border. Even the Guatemalan president is looking at her like, oh, what are you talking about?
Right.
You shouldn't be here lecturing us. Go fix your own problems.
Yeah.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Well, let's talk about that. We have so many things we could dig into, but let's start there because really, when you talk about somebody who knows what they're talking about, Congressman Donalds does because he's been on the border. He's talked to people. He knows what's going on. And when you see the vice president showing up the way that she did, and even some on the left are saying, boy, this was kind of bumbling. I mean, all the things that happened, I think even the White House was kind of stepping back away and saying that visit was a little awkward at best. It was more than that. It was, in my eyes, it was troubling. I mean, when you saw that visit, your reaction.
Their words were perplexed. The White House was perplexed.
There you go.
I mean, look, the fact of the matter is this. They broke the border. Everybody knows that they broke it. She finally, after 73 days, had to go out and say something. And she couldn't answer the basic question of when she's going to the border. It's simple, Drew. If they go to the border, they have to answer to the people down there. They have to answer questions. They can't answer questions because their enforcement policies suck. They don't make sense. They actually are exacerbating the problem. And in the president's budget, he wants to send $4 billion down to Guatemala to help, quote unquote, stem the tide. But there's no new money for border security to help them with the extended tide and flow that's coming. Right. This is the lunacy coming out of the White House. So,
yeah.
Hey, but Drew, I love you, man. But I gotta go. I love you guys. Okay. Yeah, they're telling me in my ear I gotta be on live in a minute.
Okay, go do your thing. We'll catch up another time. No worries. All right, Congressman Byron Donalds joining us. All right, we'll see you later. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. All right. Hey, listen, CNN. I'm not saying that CNN's more important than we are. It's not. But I would encourage you, not this minute because we're on the air and we're live, but to see what that's going to be like. Because that's what they're going to talk about. Is he on now? Are you watching? That's going to be a crazy conversation because I think even, and maybe we'll talk next week about this. So, knowing that the Congressional Black Caucus doesn't want to know about conservative values, probably doesn't want to hear from Republicans necessarily, the question would be, why would you want to be part of that caucus anyway? I would say you'd want to be because you'd want to be able to have a conversation and see what they have to say and maybe be able to, in some way, shape, or form, kind of talk about the issues, hopefully to change hearts and minds, but I don't think it's going to happen. And even if he wanted to, you think, what good is it going to do? Because you don't have common ground with a lot of the people in the caucus politically. And even Carlos Curbelo, former Republican Florida rep, was denied entry into the Hispanic caucus, for example, because their political position wasn't consistent with his position wasn't consistent with their values. So, it's been all Democrats in the CBC since Mia Love of Utah lost her bid in 2018. But I guess that would be the situation is you'd want to be there because you want to at least have the conversation to possibly work across the aisle. Unless, of course, there's no working. So it might not even be worth it. The border is a big issue. Clearly, he knows. He's visited a couple of times and sees what's happening. We have witnessed what happened with Kamala Harris, the vice president, and what a mess that visit was. We know that the president's budget is an outrage, and that there are way too many things that are happening. And I've talked about this, and I was hoping to get the opportunity to talk to Congressman Donalds about this and his thoughts. But boy, if you solve a problem, just remember this. And this goes for a lot of things. It's such a critical point to make. If you solve a problem, if you solve an issue, especially in D.C., if it is solved, then that means that you can't fundraise off of it. You can't get people off their tush, get to a polling place and vote. You can't do a lot of things. Certain organizations would be non-existent. There would be no need for them to be there. There would be no power for lobbyists, do you see? This is just, it's fundamental. It's something that you have to recognize. And I know you do, but I think there are people that are listening that don't think about it in this light. If you solve an issue, the border, can't fundraise off. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. There are some that dare I say, there are some Republicans that have no desire to fix what's going on along the border because they know that ultimately they can fundraise off it. They can get people to vote against certain people in certain areas of the country, even locally, because of that issue. Because if it's solved, then everything's off the table. Then you've got to find the next thing to be a wedge issue. Wedge issues are, unfortunately, things that don't go away. And it's sad. It's hard. It's hard to deal with and hard to realize. You know, you look at something like CRT, teaching white privilege, teaching systemic racism, teaching a lot of these things to our kids. The idea that our kids are going to be taught these things can be stopped in schools. One of the ways certainly you could stop it is to take your kids out of the classrooms and pull your kids out. Fundamentally, there's other ways to do it. Listen, if you want to have your indoctrination stations like some of these schools around the country are, and many of them are, then don't take my money. I don't want to fund it. And a lot would have to change in order for that to take place, and there would be very strong forces against you. But it's a place to start. But again, how many people don't want the idea of racism to stop? As sick and twisted as this is, and as what I hear what I'm saying, as sick and twisted as this thought is, think about it. How many people in this country don't want it to go away? Because if it goes away, their power goes away, their lobby goes away, their fundraising opportunities go away, their position in life goes away. So they can't have that. So it can never be solved. And the answer is, that in particular is one that you have to look at and say, that's going to be quite the battle. The border is going to be quite the battle. And there are other things as well. Doesn't mean you can't win. Like I said before, there's a reason why places like CBS and major news outlets and even local, state, and national outlets are talking about CRT, that it is coming up. I'm telling you that they're talking more and more about it because they know that you're winning. When Dr. Fauci's emails come out and you see that the things that you thought about before, that you were concerned about before, and you talked about before, that you were told you were conspiracy theory crazy, but the evidence was there to support your belief. And because some former president said it in the past, that it has to be dismissed on its face because of your hatred for that person. And you knew that was wrong. And there was more to the story, that you're winning if the networks are trying to cover for Dr. Fauci, even after the emails. You're winning. When we come to find out that the dreaded word, oh man, I need a beep. You got a beep? Like just when I need it. I need a beep. Ugh. I'll beat myself. When the dreaded word comes up of hydroxychloroquine, you're not allowed to say that word. You're not allowed to talk about hydroxychloroquine. Oh, it got through. And zinc as a possibility that it could have saved lives during the pandemic. Couldn't say that last year. The president of the United States at the time was the one that said, we've got to get on this. We've got to make sure that we're on top of this because there are lives that need to be saved. We're in the middle of a pandemic and everybody wants to save lives, right? Hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin taken together, a real chance to be one of the biggest game changers in the history of medicine. The FDA has moved mountains. You got to put this into use immediately. People are dying. Move fast. And God bless everyone. March 21st, 2020. only to be dismissed, only to be shut down, only to be censored on social media websites, only to find out today, not the only day, but maybe the biggest of the days, to find out that another new study shows that combination, the survival rate of coronavirus survival has increased as much as 200%. When cumulative doses of two drugs, hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin, were above a certain level, patients had a survival rate 3 times the other patients. How many lives could have been saved? How many lives were lost because you decided politically that you were going to shut down a voice because of your hatred for that person? And lives were lost because of that decision. And how sick and twisted that is. I mean, that's sick. Twisted. You want to scream, all of you on the left and all of you, and I know a lot of you, and you should see my emails. I should tell you one day. I should put them, You want to scream about Governor DeSantis. You want to scream about the former president, and you're trying to make the claim that lives were lost because of these two individuals, yet you have no answer? You don't want to say anything about this? That's real. That's March 2020. That actually was said. This evidence was here then. It's confirmed now. And you don't want to hear it. So we don't want to hear it. You're winning. Your pushback at school board meetings, your pushback against the fake news, the swamp, whatever you want to say, all of your pushback, you're not losing. You're winning. You just got to continue to keep the pressure up because you're right. All along. See what I did there? Come on. Bringing it back. All right, we got to go to break. 239-479. It's that kind of day. It's just it's a very weird day today. Aren't you feeling that? It's a strange day today, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, for you, it's the White Castle you ate yesterday in the break room. That thing has been bothering you. It's churning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's okay. It's all right, little buddy. They got stuff in the break room to help with that. The cool thing is you could do that, and then they got something that you could take and be like, I feel better.
It's almost like they did it on purpose.
No, they don't do that on purpose. Cards and letters to Jake the Millennial, care of this station. We'll be sure to get it to him. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I am mad at everything going on.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's really a good feeling to know that when it comes to your house and all the water that is in every faucet, every place in your home, that you don't have to worry about the water smelling like chlorine or messing up your shower glass, your faucets, right, with that hard water staining, the drying out of your skin and your hair. Just imagine what that would be like. You don't have to imagine it. You can just do it. You call the Uniform Pentair water specialist. They can find out what's going on with your water and handle your city or well water issues. Yours, right here in Southwest Florida. With their mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and salt-free solutions too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt for you, and that they can install that Pentair water system for you as well. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now and get your free digital Pentair water test. Save 15% on your whole home water system by calling 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799 or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
Hey, it's Adam Botana again from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, the only family-owned and operated boat club in Southwest Florida. Right now, we're calling all Southwest Florida locals. If you're a local, we're offering 3 months free and $1,000 off, giving you over $2,000 in savings. And when it comes to member-to-boat ratio, we have the best fleet and the best availability out of any boat club in the area. Fishing, cruising, water sports, Baywater will get you set up. Want to let your kids use the membership? At Baywater, anything is possible. This weekend, we're having an open house. We'd love to have you come by, have some lunch, and check out our club. And if you're local and join this weekend, you get 3 months free and $1,000 off for over $2,000 in savings. Call me, Adam Botana, at 239-495-0455. That's 495-0455. Or find us at bwboatclub.com or just Google Baywater Boat Club, the exclusive club of Southwest Florida.
Goodbye, Beth. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, Beth. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Guys, more candles on the cake means less testosterone in the tank. But we can turn this back into this.
Oh, yeah.
You just need a tune-up.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. neogenicmd.com. Neogenics, rediscover your youth. 277-9999.
Abbott Hill in Naples is your one-stop shop for every aspect of your remodeling and renovation projects. Their team is committed to providing innovative solutions with the highest quality products. Abbott Hill offers from modern European style to furniture-grade, authentic, handmade, old Amish cabinetry. Each piece is made with the highest quality solid woods and traditional construction methods for your new kitchen, office, entertainment wall, vanities, and built-ins. A large selection of unique porcelain tiles, including top designers like Roberto Cavalli, and an exclusive collection of large format slabs and tiles from Versace Ceramics.
Hi, I'm Peter, the owner of Abbott Hill. Please come see my showroom located on 5880 Shirley Street in Naples, or call 239-260-5246.
If you're in the market to update your kitchen, bathroom, or floors, Abbott Hill is offering free kitchen design consultation and 20% off countertops with the purchase of kitchen cabinetry. Abbott Hill, returning the quality of yesterday and leaving you smiling for years to come.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, "What is that beautiful SUV?" I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, "How much does it cost?" I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and a fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines and rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. New 2021 Genesis G70s have 0% financing and 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. And we have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months at $0 per month per 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
A crash on State Road 29 near Mockley Road. No injuries, but some slight delays near that intersection. Otherwise, Collier County commuters, you are up to speed on all major roads. No major incidents as of right now. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Nicole Lauren, Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Warm and muggy once again this morning. Hot and humid this afternoon. High temperatures reach about 94 degrees with feels-like temperatures approaching the triple digits once again. Now, we do see a few areas of showers and storms, especially inland and south of the Coxsahachie, but overall, few and far between from now all the way toward the weekend before we do flip the script on that rainy season-like pattern for early parts of next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
From smartphones and TVs to desktops, laptops, and tablets.
Every audio device in this hemisphere.
All you have to do is tell your smart device to play 92.5 Fox News.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
You've worked hard in life and created substantial wealth, but isn't your legacy about more than money? At FindMark, we ask our clients, how will you prepare the next generation? Will they inherit your values along with your wealth? Having a plan is essential. FindMark can help. Visit us at our locations in Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, and Estero, or online at findmarkbank.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com. That's the website. Steele has 3 E's, as you probably know. Hopefully you do. And if you don't, well, now you know. All right, let's do this. The top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management Options. Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number finding by the Inspector General of the Interior Department. They took a look at this, an independent investigation, and they found that the decision to clear the park made by the park police to do whatsoever. They found no evidence that it had anything to do with the president's decision to have a photo op and walk through there and have a photo op at the nearby historic church.
Oh no! How much that had to hurt MSNBC. Oh man, that was painful. That's right. They had to go on the air and admit that an investigation showed that Donald Trump did not gas peaceful protesters so that he could have a photo op at a church that was the actions of anarchists. Have this photo op. Remember when he was holding up the Bible in front of the church there in D.C.? No, that's a new investigation. Look at this. Oh, and 37 pages that say, yeah, that's not what happened. Oh, that's not what happened. Boy, was that, well, you were right and they were wrong. Boy, that pains them.
Number 4.
In terms of right to life, it's important, obviously, on its own, supportive of the life cause. They're not people you want to be in a foxhole with on any other political battle as well. They're the first ones that will sell out to the DC establishment when the going gets really, really tough.
Wow, there is Vegantis who was asked about right to life in certain situations and issues. And in the conversation saying, not sure you really want to go into the foxholes with these folks because these are the ones that their votes and will not be consistent. Basically, once again, saying what a lot of people have been talking about with this governor and the importance of when you have your beliefs, your foundation, you run on those. That's leadership. You run on those foundational beliefs, your ideology, and you don't work finger up to the wind to see which way things are blowing. You don't do anything like that. This is what you believe. You're somebody who believes in life, and you stand by that. And again, another example of leadership from the governor.
Number 3.
You know, when I went over in the tank in the Pentagon, when I first was elected vice president with President Obama, the military sat us down to let us know what the greatest threats facing America were, the greatest physical threats. This is not a joke. You know what the Joint Chiefs told us the greatest threat facing America was?
What did they tell you?
Global warming.
Global warming. That's the President of the United States addressing troops in England yesterday and telling them that when he was in office with Barack Obama, the Joint Chiefs said, listen, the biggest threat to the United States is global warming. Do we need to talk to those Joint Chiefs? Did you push back a little bit, or I got questions.
Number 2.
Whether it's Greenland and its ice sheet, or Antarctica, or warming of the ocean, or the level of our storms and their intensity, or the rising of sea level. I mean, there's so many different components of this that are going to cost trillions upon trillions of dollars for all of our economies, and ultimately challenge life itself in many parts of the planet. And if we were to sit there saying, well, I'm going to fight over this issue that's a trade issue or a cyber issue, and we're going to fight about that while the world is falling apart, you'd really be certifiable.
You're certifiable. There's John Kerry, the one who flies in private planes because he can only fly private, and then ultimately had to do a photo op on a regular flight that you and I would go on to. The little people, and of course there's houses and uses all kinds of carbon, but his footprint is small because he's super tall, so that would lead you to believe his footprint to kind of be. Anyway, John Kerry, who wants to let you know that look, if you're trying to talk to communist China, the Chinese kind of be. Anyway, John Kerry, who wants to let you know that, look, if you're trying to talk to communist China, the Chinese Communist Party, who would like to see the demise of the United States, yes, they would. The party, remember, we're not talking about the people of China, we're talking about the Chinese Communist Party. Look, if you're going to go after them and think that they don't care about things like we do, and you're going to go after them on trade and cybersecurity and all of these things with little evidence. No, there's lots of evidence that okay, we'll get to that in a second. Then you're certifiable. People might say that you're certifiable for saying the things that you're saying about China and the things that you believe that they're not doing. To me, that's kind of certifiable. It's
Number 1.
In Sydney, you're 14 years old. When I was 14, please, at ease. I keep forgetting I dressed it.
Okay, I'm just got to stop there. Addressing the troops, there's the President of the United States telling everybody to be at ease, and sometimes he forgets that he's the president. I don't know why I threw that in there, because there's some people that probably believe that it's a little more than just a few times he forgets it. Anyway, moving on.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
You know, and there's so much to dig into with this, with all of these issues, the clips that we just played. I'll start first with John Kerry. We had an interview with Gordon Chang yesterday. We replayed it this morning. If you missed the interview with Gordon Chang, I would encourage you to go back to either today's show at 6:30 this morning or even yesterday at 8, talking about the threats, the Chinese Communist Party and the threat against the United States, and certainly the threats against the world, and some of the things that have been happening. Evidence, like, for example, would you be surprised to find out that there's a big question about China hacking our electric grid and Joe Biden making it easier, depriving tens of millions of Americans of the basic elements necessary to sustain life, and large cities are vulnerable? What are you talking about? That seems pretty hyperbolic. Really? The recent winter storm that crashed Texas's electric grid brought untold suffering to tens of millions within the state. That calamity is but a small taste of the potential suffering that could be visited upon hundreds of millions by power breakdowns deliberately caused by imported equipment within the grid itself. We don't think about this, do we? Heritage Foundation had this article from J. William Middendorf. Secret backdoors entreated from such adversaries as China and Russia could enable those countries to shut down the entire national electric grid, throwing the entire country into chaos. The Trump administration had an executive order. They were concerned about this. They noticed it. A national emergency with respect to the nation's electric grid. And what did the Biden administration do? They got rid of it. There was evidence to show that this was happening. Last year, the Wall Street Journal reported that U.S. officials seized a Chinese-built transformer they suspected had secret capabilities that could allow distant adversaries to monitor or even disable it. Cybersecurity experts told the Journal that officials had found, quote, electronics that should not have been part of the transformer, a hardware backdoor that could secretly allow the Chinese to gain effective control of the transformers. Are you worried? You should be. The Trump administration knew this, and they were concerned. The Biden administration, for some reason, feels like they have to turn this around. Why? Because Orange Man bad? Is that what it is? I would like for the left, I would like for some Democrats to explain. You know, I'd also like, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but just remember something really critical and fundamental about politics here locally, politics here in the state, and politics here nationally. Ask yourself why the Biden administration would turn around and change this, rescind this order, this executive order about this national emergency with respect to the electric grid, if they have evidence to show that there is concern. Except to say that Orange Man bad, Trump derangement syndrome. Policies that they have made the conscious decision to turn around based on that. Is that the case? The policies and the things, social media and the censorship of and the elimination of people who had questions about the origin of the coronavirus and the Wuhan labs that now need to be investigated, and people are calling for investigations, and some of the things that we're finding out that if you even discussed it not too long ago, you were censored, you were taken off of social media. No apologies, nothing to see here. The questions of hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin that the president of the United States at the time in March of 2020 said we need to save lives right now. There's evidence to show that this will save lives, and taken off of Facebook, taken off of social media. You probably taken off of social media for talking about it. People telling others to shut up about it. Don't speak about it. Things like ivermectin. Has anybody even explored the idea that not too long ago, India, we were hearing news reports from all your local, state, and national media that were telling us that was an absolute disaster in cases that were screaming up in India and all the things that we were seeing and hearing, and it was awful, and it was. Until something was introduced, like ivermectin, and all of a sudden, because of that use, cases began to plummet. You don't hear about the cases and the issues in India anymore, do you? Did anybody ever bother to ask why? That political decisions made because Trump derangement syndrome, orange man bad. You hate to bring it back to all that, but again, there's a couple of things here as well. Ultimately, we're going to have a decision as to who is going to be the nominee in 2024 and where you stand with the former president, whether it is starting to move on from him and go to somebody like Ron DeSantis, or believing that you want to support the former president if he decides to run regardless. Do you think that people are just going to walk away from Republicans and conservatives and the attacks and the censorships upon them for the things that they say if Trump or DeSantis is not around? It's going to continue because they've witnessed how they've been able to get away with a lot of things over social media and in the media discussions and the censorship of, to where no pushback was happening. And it worked in a lot of different ways. You want to talk about election integrity? That could be for another day. You want to talk about stifling the speech of a president when he talks about these things, only to find out there's a brand new study. Oh, I forgot to bring that up. Hold on a second here.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Yeah, a real one. Can I tell you about this study that we find out that shows that the hydroxychloroquine touted by the former president increased the survival rate of severely ill coronavirus patients? That's right, as much as 200%. Hydroxychloroquine along with zinc. Go figure, everybody. They just came out with this study. There was a study there before that had this, but you weren't allowed to talk about it then because of the person in office. Now we come to find out that a survival rate 3 times that of patients that didn't take it. Survival. The difference between life or death. Anybody concerned about those that didn't want that out there and available and talked about, and the lives that were lost because of that? Do you get to talk about? No. Put that aside. That's a problem, right? And the bigger issue, and the one thing that I'm going to bring up tomorrow as I'm exploring some things that are happening and I'm getting word about some things that were said here locally that are very important, is that politics is in everything. And if you're an elected official and you think for 1 second that we're not allowed to ask you about your political affiliation, that it doesn't matter in the overall scheme of things because what you're doing as an elected official is much bigger than just that. Spare us, because I know, and you know, and even they know, that their politics will play into the decisions that they will want to run with, and those they will push back against Tallahassee and push back against the White House if there's a Republican in the White House, just because politics, that they won't do it, even if it means the education of your kids, even if it means maybe the safety and the health of your loved ones. That's outrageous. So don't tell us that politics don't play a part in everyday life. They do. It's where we are. Yeah, we'll probably break some news tomorrow. I have to keep exploring this and finding out more about it. And you'll tune in tomorrow. You'll find out what I'm talking about. I'll get to it. And not to be canceled. You know, I saw this story about Ellie Kemper. Do you know who Ellie Kemper is? Have you heard of her? Ellie Kemper. Breakable Kimmy Schmidt? Or Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt? I don't know. It's some show that people loved. I thought, was she on The Office or something like that? Okay. Come to find out that she put out a social media post, one on, I guess it was Instagram, talking about how she found out that she was, I guess she won a beauty queen pageant when she was in high school. And the organization that she won was like 150 years old. And somewhere in the past, there was a racist beginning to this organization, and to the point that right now, and even at the time in the 80s or whatever it was when she won this, they were not a racist organization. They denounced all of that. They recognized it. They called it out. They were not anything like that, but it had some racist, I don't know the connections. I guess a centuries-old organization. Racist, sexist, and elitist past. She went on to Twitter to apologize, or Instagram to apologize for it. I wasn't aware of the history at the time. Ignorance is no excuse. I was old enough to have educated myself before getting involved, unequivocally deplore, denounce, reject white supremacy. At the same time, I acknowledge that because of my race and my privilege, I am the beneficiary of a system that has dispensed unequal justice and unequal rewards. There's a very natural temptation when you become the subject of internet criticism to tell yourself that your detractors are getting it all wrong. And in other words, she apologized for this, something that she never knew about at the time. She wouldn't have known about it at the time. It wasn't brought up. But somebody brought it to her attention and decided that she was going to apologize about this veiled prophet ball, a debutante soiree in St. Louis. That's what it was. It was started by a former Confederate officer in the 19th century. There you go. That excluded blacks and Jews for years, but was integrated in 1979, a year before she was born. No idea about this. Never looked into it. But had to apologize now for it because somebody might find out about it and she was going to be guilty by association and that kind of thing. And, you know, the question then becomes, if she is going to go on to social media and to Instagram and to denounce this ball and apologize for being there at a time and this suggestion that ignorance is no excuse, it kind of is. It kind of is an excuse, is it not? I mean, nobody was bringing it up at the time. Nobody had bringing it up for years and years, even the fact that they integrated before she was even born. And the question becomes, how can you be a Democrat? Shouldn't you denounce the Democrat Party? You want to look into the racist origins of the Democrat Party and some of the things that they've done in the past and the undeniable absolute truth of the history of your party? Shouldn't you be denouncing the party and distancing yourself from the party? And shouldn't you be on social media right now doing just that? I'm just asking for fun. I mean, if they want to go there, we can go there. But there are more than a few people that are pushing back against the woke, that are pushing back against critical race theory. They're not going to have their kids taught this absolutely positively racist ideology, this Marxist ideology. And if you don't believe that that's what it is, maybe we'll devote a big segment of the show tomorrow to explaining exactly what critical race theory is and is not. And we'll get to that. Are we going to go toss it? Okay. I was just looking at it. I'm like, the music's not starting. Oh, there it is. All right, we got to go. And we will see you tomorrow. Glenn Beck is next. Have a great day. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up. It is? Yep. Brittany Van Voorhees. She's got it.
Definitely another warm and muggy start to the day here.